Ladies and gentlemen, moving on to our next contest. Please welcome your first fighter making his way to the blue corner, Andy Collier.
It's another surefire matchup here at the Rise of Champions. The first of the two culprits in this one out of Tsunami Gym, Andy Collier. Andy, a very, very gifted, fast, athletic fighter, Dean. The type of fighter who goes in there and goes from 0 to 100 in just about a millisecond.
He's able to change his levels brilliantly and often will come up with an uppercut with a bit of possum play in there. He's an exciting fighter to watch.
And he's got some great guys there in the corner. John McGuire and crew here tonight from Tsunami Gym. Well coached, well trained, and got a lot of power. He's deceptively fast and able to change things in an instant. Great counter striker as well, Dean. It's those guys who can bring the punches from odd angles, the ones you don't see coming, with the type of speed and quick twitch muscle fiber. That can be a real key factor.
And the second fighter making his way to the cage, to the red corner. Please welcome Festus Ahorlu.
And you talk about young, upcoming, absolutely brilliant stars here featured on the Rise of Champions. Festus Ahorlu, another fitting example, the second individual here in this contest tonight. A very, very talented judoka, Dean, but worked hard in the boxing, really grown physically over the years. He's matured now as a young teenager. He is an incredible athlete as well. So when you match him up with a guy like Collier, it's gonna be fireworks.
Festus coming in this bantamweight division, like you said before, they've just enabled them to be so fast, and he's got great hips on him. He's able to move his hands real quick, get in for a look for the clinch, and use that beautiful judo background.
And as of recently, we've used really that philosophy of sprawl and brawl a lot in MMA. Let's talk about the clinch. Judoka's really difficult to get the better of in that position, Dean.
Festus able, like much judokas, to get their hips behind you and stop you sprawling back, really able to get them underneath you and alleviate your weight above their level and throw you flying through the air.
So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens if it does hit the clinch, but Festus certainly an affinity for his striking, been working very hard in his submission game as well. We're going to have to see how this one goes down, but certainly one of the most talented young guys out there on the circuit, taking on Andy Collier. Cannot wait to get things started. Back to our Master of Ceremonies, Mr. Grant Waterman.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next contest is in the Rise of Champions Bantamweight division. Introducing these two warriors, the fighter standing in the blue corner. He weighed in at 132.9 pounds. He represents Tsunami Gym. He is Andy Collier. And standing across the cage in the red corner, he weighed in at 134.8 kilograms. He represents Team Titan. He is from Ghana. He is Festus Ahorlu. The referee judge the action is down already.
The gentleman, Daniel Movahidi, in charge. The door of the ring closes for this one. Festus Ahorlu fighting out of the red corner from Team Titan, taking on Andy Collier from Tsunami Gym. Chris Hookster calling it my main man, D Midhat here, and look at that immediately. The explosivity that we talked about from Mr. Collier, but Festus, cool, calm, collected, and as cold as ice with that boxing, Dean.
Festus looking back with his Muay Thai skills, been working on them diligently, so confident with the grappling game. He's able to open up his striking game tenfold.
Collier, though, showed the bull rush that we expected. And there we go, that's what I'm talking about. That kid gets a hold of you, and then he absolutely imposes his will in an instant. You can't sleep on him.
Collier on the outside, waiting for the ample opportunity, making Festus miss, running in, looking for the double leg here.
But this is where exactly the questions will be answered about the judoka base of Ahorlu. Look at the way he spreads his legs, puts weight on one, pushes off the fence. There's a lot going on here.
Oi! Big hip toss there from Festus, as promised.
Haraya Goshi for the win there. But a nice half guard recovery from his opponent. Festus thinking about trying to hit that Americana on the far side. But a great half guard recovery from Collier.
Collier on the bottom, not phased, straight back up into the takedown.
And the wrestling of those guys there at Tsunami. That's what I'm talking about with Collier. You know, you'd look at him and you'd think, comparing him to Ahorlu would be quicker, bigger, faster, stronger. But Collier, as I highlighted, has got that athletic, God-given ability to be able to get in there, get a hold of you, and make life absolutely difficult.
Ahorlu up against the cage here. Collier fighting for that takedown, but Ahorlu is putting his hips backwards there. You see him, he'll suck his hips away from his opponent, using that whizzer beautifully. Collier needs to drop down and try and suck the hips away from Ahorlu.
And look at the way Ahorlu dives to the ground using that overhook. Again, thinking about another throw here. Collier very wise to that big knee from Ahorlu. That one hurt him. That one definitely hurt him, Dean.
Collier noticeably shocked from that body shot.
Straight to the breadbasket, and look at the stand-up of Ahorlu. That's exactly what he was very vocal in the media in the run-up to this fight about having worked on.
Big kicks from Ahorlu, just that amazing power that comes from his hips that have been gifted by judo. Oi, looking for the Kimura here.
He thought about using that to take the back as well. That was very advanced. And it's really interesting when you see high-level judokas begin to train Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, because it certainly is an acceptable base for how to get down to the mat. But it's when they learn those skills of what to do when it does hit the mat that you're really in trouble.
Big uppercut from Ahorlu to left hook to body shot there. Collier is definitely on the back foot. Takes a breath there as another kick from Ahorlu slams into his body.
Low hands from Festus Ahorlu, but a long jab as he steps in. He's got some excellent boxing training going on. Man, what a round.
Collier giving it his all. You've got to wonder now in his corner, what is he thinking? How do I get Ahorlu down?
He certainly did a great job of trying to hit that level change at multiple points, but Ahorlu took him for a ride there, Dean. Beautiful hip throw on full display. And the impact alone sent a shockwave through the venue. There was a lot going on through that round, but as we thought, Dean, it was going to be the grappling that would be one of the most exciting elements.
Ahorlu showing why judo is a great background. His hips were the key in that round, Chris. Even the throw, he'd suck his hips back, draw Collier in, load him up, and send him for a flying lesson.
The clock continues to tick here, but the action not subsiding whatsoever, Dean. It's round 2 of 3 here. Ahorlu taking on Collier, and Festus continues to operate in stalking mode. Beautiful long jab there, almost a shovel uppercut coming from the right hand at times.
I'm just about to say I'd like to, oh my goodness, I've just got to see some kicks from Collier, but Ahorlu lands one and wobbles Collier. I'd like to see Collier open up the leg game so it makes Ahorlu think up and downstairs, so we can't just fire off at range as we see him take the back of Collier.
And that was a single kick by Ahorlu as well. Cracked Collier to the top of the skull in just spectacular fashion. Stiff right hand from Ahorlu. Ahorlu setting up with a jab. Left hook to finish the combination. Whoa! And another monster kick lands for the Ghanaian.
Ahorlu firing off at will, picking the strike and delivering it again. Big head kick sends Collier flying towards the cage.
And the pressure certainly on in full tilt from Festus Ahorlu. But Collier is as tough as they come. You cannot question that kid's never say die attitude. Dives in for the takedown. Big uppercut from Festus. Hammer fist for good measure, and that's the end of the fight, Dean.
Oh my goodness, Ahorlu enabling himself to fire at will, landing the decisive and damaging shots against Andy Collier, and finishes with those impressive hammer fists from the top.
And he was so loose in there, Dean. He was so calculated. It was so precise. An incredible win for Festus Ahorlu here at the Rise of Champions.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 1 minute and 21 seconds of the second round. Your referee, Dan Mulvahedi, calls a halt to the action by way of ground and pound.